Hi there. So when it comes to technique on a rowing machine, there's quite a lot of nuances that go on that can kind of tighten up your technique, but there's basically two major pitfalls that most new rowers will fall into, and to be fair, quite a lot of experienced rowers fall into as well. And they are, number one, that people think it's a pulling motion, that you have to kind of yank on the handle rather than pushing the power in with your legs. And number two, it's people who open up their back too early and they don't use the power of their backswing to add power into the machine. Now, the first of those I've already covered in another video, which I might do again one day, but right now, that video up there is really well worth watching, and if you've got a balloon lying around the house, you can use that in order to stop you pulling early and helps you get that power in from your legs. But when it comes to opening up the back early, there's a few reasons why that's going to happen, and what I want to look at today is one of the main causes of that, and that is coming into the front of the machine with the handle too low. Now, it might well be that you've kind of watched people rowing on a boat and you're trying to emulate that. So that means come into the back, you then lower the handle in order to get the oar out of the water, and then as you come into the front, you pull the handle up in order to get the oar back into the water, and then that's you rowing. But on a rowing machine, you don't need to do that, okay? So if you come into the front and then you lurch up in order to pull it up, what happens, and you can see on the force curve using the ErgZone app, is you get a really lumpy force curve with this lurch up. The back opens because as the arms come up, the back swings open too, and you're losing that connection of the legs into the machine. Part of what I said is like number one mistake, okay? So what you want to do is to try and keep the handle at a level plane in and out. Because again, we're on a rowing machine, we're not getting an oar in and out of the water. So you don't need to tap down and scrape the handle off your knees. You can just come into the front with a straight line and then power your legs into the machine. Lots of force. And then you add in the backswing in order to keep that power flowing into the machine. Now, I'm not saying I've got the best technique, and I'm certainly not saying I've got the best force curve, but hopefully you can tell the difference between that low, sloppy curve before and these curves you're seeing now. So, why am I still filming? I just told you the problem. Well, because there's a hack that you can use in order to help you here, all right? I've already made a video before where I used a roll of gaffer tape or parcel tape, put that behind the throat of the machine, and as you're rowing, if you drop the chain, it hits the top of that roll and it kind of falls off or rolls up to the top. But you can also use balls, okay? So here is a massage ball, here is a croquet ball, and you can put these behind as well. You can also use a tennis ball or a baseball, whatever you want. And there's a reason that you want to pick your preferred ball, because this massage ball is made out of rubber, and this is a good first one to use if this is a real problem for you and you just want to kind of break the habit. Because if you tuck that at the back, then we'll row properly, well, as properly as I can. So the chain is at a nice level height, backwards and forwards, it's not hitting the ball. But the moment I drop the chain, because of that rubber material, the chain catches the ball and it rolls to the top and I have to reset. And the good thing about that is it stops you instantly in your tracks, and it basically just says to you, you've just made a mistake, stop it, and you can go, right, I'll start again. And I'll go back to that level height, because you know exactly why the chain hit the ball and it rolled to the top, because you dropped the chain down to the bottom, and that's what you don't want to be doing, okay? But if I change the croquet ball that is a little bit higher, it will help with a visual guidance here, but it doesn't always do the same thing. So if I use a croquet ball, right, a couple of nice strokes, then come down, all that happens is I can hear a little bit of a grinding noise, and I can see the chain wobble as it runs across the top of the ball. But the advantage here is that I'm still able to carry on rowing and I don't have to stop. So that's why I'm saying pick your ball of choice when it comes to doing this. Both methods work, but if this really is a problem for you that you really have to stop doing, then I recommend finding something like a tennis ball will be the same as well, where the chain will catch that and it'll roll up to the top. Use that. Use something that will kind of hack you into not lowering the chain down. Because remember, if you lower that handle down. Whoops, now it falls out. If you lower that handle down, as you bring it up, your back opens early, you miss the connection between your feet to your hands, you then jerk into it, and you lose lots and lots of power, lots and lots of consistency, and you won't be going as fast. So rather than coming in and having that wobbly power, like missing power stroke, you can come in, chain at the right height, power in with your legs, add your back swing, and you'll hopefully be a much better, faster rower, getting a much better workout from your rowing workouts than if you miss your back and you're not putting in the legs. Because remember, rowing is an 85% of your muscles workout as long as you do it with the right kind of technique, which means pushing with the legs, swinging with the back, pulling with the arms. If you miss one of them, that's a dramatic drop in the percentage of potential body you could be using. All right, so I do hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know whether you did, whether you've got any questions, whether you think you went a bit too fast there. Make sure and check out the ErgZone app if you liked seeing that force curve flowing around. And of course, make sure to check out the hundreds of free workouts I have here on the Row Along channel for you to row along to, hence the name. There's also all the technique tips and stuff as well, so go have a look around and hopefully you'll enjoy them, and I will see you in another video. Until then, row well, be well, bye bye.